Hey guys, I'm back in the Boost Box updates. Let's get started. So let's start with Paldea. So Paldea didn't change really in price, and the demand still looks like it's kind of on the lower end of like 8 to 9 boxes. I think that's sort of it's usually kind of low or medium price. Every now and then it gets lower than that. So it's not really insane demand like in the 20s, but at that rate, it's actually not doing that bad. Um, my sort of like normal price for Paldea is like 225, and it's not too far from that. I feel like it was further before, um, but there's only two boxes at 220, and it goes to 25. But the ceiling seems to be closer to about like 230. Although there's not a lot of boxes listed here, so honestly, even at that rate, like this is five, that is 9, 12, 15 boxes, and it's selling like 8 or 9 a day. Like all these could technically sell in a day. That doesn't usually happen unless there's like a huge surge in demand or something, or its supply is really really low. But it'd be nice to see Paldea go to like 230. For me, like Paldea breaking new highs 240, but it still seems to be doing pretty decent based on the market data. Um, Obsidian Flames. So not all the booster boxes are moving kind of the same rates. Um, Obsidian Flames, it's kind of a lower end. It's at 7 boxes yesterday. Usually it's more closer to it's at least 10 boxes a day. Sometimes like 11 to 13. Um, I think I told you guys before, like 210 is like an interesting sort of market ceiling for me for to look at because like there's Kane's Games here, which hasn't really doesn't seem like it listed more boxes, but it did this thing before where it kept listing more boxes just below 200, and it's I think I wouldn't be surprised if like it's the boxes start to go away and then it comes back again. But then there's this Phyllis Curios who lists 6 boxes who's also like acting as like a 210 price. So there's all these boxes up here at 210. This is 14 boxes, which doesn't seem like the most in the world, but I've just seen it time and time again where people will offload Obsidian. Like I'm just waiting for the point where people just really have run out of it enough that the price does go up. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really look terrible for Obsidian technically, but I've just seen like a history of Obsidian, so I'm just a little skeptical personally. Paradox, the selling rate has been slowing down. I think 7 boxes, 6 and 5 last couple of days. Um, yeah, like there was a period where it was like not too long ago, like the 15th to the 20th, we were selling at least 15 boxes a day, sometimes up to like 25 or 30. And let's see, like for me, like breaking 200 is really, really important. That's when there's a sort of resistance that's crossing people's minds. When you go under 200, that means people are still trying to really offload it at those prices. Like, oh, I can offload it because like they'll keep undercutting each other. It took Obsidian like so long to get above 200, and also Stellar Crown. Um, I'm not surprised that Paradox is experiencing the same thing, even though it's just a few dollars less. After that breakage, besides going to 200, like Stellar actually went up to like 210, and Obsidian went up to about 210 as well. So it takes that sort of resistance, where it's like you have to really be like $10 above to really cross that $200 mark, apparently. Um, so yeah, Paradox, I'm not really holding my breath. There's a ton of boxes here before 200. I'm not even going to bother counting them all at this demand rate, because I just see a couple of flashes of 5 and 2 and 5. It's just there's no way like demand is high enough to get you all those boxes in like a day or two. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, like relatively soon, like maybe in a week or two. I just, in the next couple of days, like, I don't think I'm gonna be hosting tomorrow that Paradox crosses 200 unless something kind of happens. Or if it does, it usually means that there's some others or a market shift happening, which that's also kind of nice. Um, Temporal slowed down actually. It was pretty consistent at like 12 bucks a day, sometimes 9, but did 7 yesterday. Um, It does seem like it's possibly a little closer to 200 than Paradox, aside from this one seller that sells eights. To me, like they're going at about the same rates. I'm looking at other metrics. There's 125 Temporal versus 122 Paradox. Honestly, they're looking pretty similar, um, except for the fact that I think Temporal has been a little more consistent lately, and Paradox has not. And I think people have less Temporal than do Paradox. Other than that, some of the current market like placements of where they are compared to 200, it's kind of pretty similar to be honest. Um, Let's look at Twilight. So Twilight, I feel like it's people are kind of trying to offload it, even if it's slow. Like there's enough sellers who kind of are at this 210 price that's really left like Twilight at this price. Before it was at like I forget it was like 210, 220, maybe closer to that range, but now it's been like pretty solidly at 210. There's not like a ton of sellers like at 210. It's just that they keep appearing. Um, Let me look at sales data in case there's people actually buying above 210. I don't really see like any extreme price above 210. And the selling rate did decrease down. It was more consistent at like 11 to 15 boxes, and yesterday was 7. Um, and then seller crown. This is another box which it's gone up to about like two, past 210. But selling rate's been slowing down. So there's just resistance at this price point. It's kind of stable at this price point, but it's been um, there's resistance getting higher than this. So this is at 4 boxes. Um, yeah, it really might take just like people starting to buy out these boxes and other boxes also selling higher. But yeah, there's the highest box over here is 215, which isn't much higher than it currently is, and there's 12 boxes over here. So just there's 10 boxes here, there's 8 boxes here. That's a lot of boxes for resistance. Searching Sparks. It went down to 250. I don't usually look at Searching Sparks too much, but I did realize that well, a couple of things. They're selling the UK boxes, which one half booster boxes were 18. I kind of wonder how those will do in the future. I don't really have a lot of experience on them, but yeah, this is what it looks like. Um, yeah, these only appear in the UK. Like you don't really see them here at all. Um, but I do see there's only like 2 sellers selling at like 250, aside from maybe the picture listings. So um, it kind of explains to me why Surgery Sparks kind of fluctuates so much. Like at the bottom page, it gets 255. Um, so, but yeah, it's been kind of going through like 250 to 260. And then Scarlet base. Technically, I should have gone with this first, but I think Paldea is a little more exciting typically. The man's been better lately at like 11 or 12. I just still see like people like offloading their boxes. I learned yesterday that this market quantity means very little unless you go to the listings, because I made this video yesterday about like trading card worlds and how it has so much of the market share. I'll link this in the video if you want to see it, but like I think it has like 100 to 200 of the Scarlet Vibe boxes. It'd be too much work for me to always call out the trading card world, and especially when sometimes they do take down the listings. But yeah, I wonder if I could find it here. Um, let me. I'll do it for this one, but yeah, it would take way too much work for me to do this all the time, unless it's like really obvious. Like Journey Together was one of the ones that I noticed it really easily because there was just a yeah trading card world right here, 192 boxes. Um, and that's 40% of the market right there. So there's not actually as much SV base posted as like I thought. Um, but yeah, I didn't really go through the pricing, but there's a lot of boxes even before 190. So even at this whole buying rate, it's still gonna take some time to get like back up. But um, it is still like the cheapest booster box. Like in Scarlet Violet, it is 184, and then for Sword and Shields, there's 185 battle styles. Everything else is already pretty much past 200. If you count like these 198s, 199s, so we're already pretty much at that point, and eventually people are gonna get desperate enough to buy these other boxes, or desperate enough for supply will actually like dwindle. I told you guys once these boxes are bought, they can't really be sold again, in the sense of like you'll lose money if you sell it again because of fees and whatever. But for actual price increases and decreases, like they weren't like very big. Like Temporal went down $1, Stellar went down like $1, and then Surgeon's Price went down $10. But I just see it kind of oscillates. I'll go through Sword and Shield real quick. So Sword and Shield base had hasn't had a sale in a while, but it stayed the same. Rebel Clash as well. Darkness Blaze, yeah, it's at this 219 price or 220 price, and there's like 3 boxes by one seller. Vivid Voltage, I didn't notice this, but like it's been hovering at 219, at 200. But there's some sales, so I was like, wait, what's going on? I only saw 1 box left, but I do see some people buying it like above 200. There's a 206, 208, a 204. So people are actually they're just preferring the lower sellers, other than this Ollie shop over here. Because once this Ollie shop goes away, it does go past actually 200. So it's good for. It doesn't look great for like headlines, but it looks good for just the market for Vivid in general. I'm still looking at this quantity. It looks like it may have increased a little bit, or say about the same. But yeah, 60 boxes really isn't that much. It was like 65 the other day. I don't remember exactly what it was yesterday, but it's still selling at least one box a day. On the contrary, like battle style slowed down. There's been no boxes the last couple of days when it was so consistent. And yeah, it's kind of stuck here a little bit until people start picking it up again. There's a couple other boxes like that. I think Astral Radiance is like that too. Astral Radiance was being kind of consistent, and then just no one's buying. Um, Chilling Rain. I'm just gonna go over the interesting one. Chilling Rain. I don't only one box sold yesterday. Evolving Skies only one box sold yesterday. Fusion Strike only one box sold yesterday. Brilliant Stars no box sold yesterday. Um, and then Lost Origin is the most interesting one because it's had 3 days in a row with 3 boxes sold. I still think there's a lot of boxes before the even getting up to 403 or getting past 403. But that's a pretty good amount of demand for a $400 booster box. And Silver Tempest was pretty consistent too, like 3 or 4 boxes a day, and then no boxes were sold yesterday. So it's just some weird slowdowns the market. The official kind of prices increases and decreases. Battle Styles went down $1. Chilling Reign went back up about $10. That it normally does that. Fusion Strike went back down to 475. It's done that before, so it went down like $3. Lost Origin went down about $5. That's not too abnormal. And then Silver Tempest has been actually decreasing. Ever since it went to 273, it's been kind of going back down to 260. Now it's at 266. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.